What's our response to
CPS
that?
steps in.
CPS probably going to step
Child
in.
Protective Services comes in. They say, this child is being abused. They're being neglected. Something. We take them out of that situation and raise them ourselves,
right.
or in some way, or help the mother learn how to care for the child. And so if you look at it from that perspective, it takes a little walking through, but.
See, I think something completely different when I see this slogan.
Really?
And maybe I
maybe
see something
you and
a
I
little
are
bit
on the
different.
same page.
When it says if you can't trust me with a choice, it's establishing that the premise for our pro-life position is we don't trust women,
Right?
to make choices. I believe
that.
Women should make choices.
Exactly.
I think that we should trust them. In at least in certain circumstances, somewhat implicitly to make the right choice in certain areas, and we certainly don't have the position to step in. I still believe some choices are wrong, but that doesn't state that I don't think women are smart enough to make the right choice in many circumstances. But we've legalized the option of killing an unborn child because we've dehumanized them. That says nothing about what I believe women are capable of doing.
I think that's a much better way to take the question.
Yeah, the premise is, I do trust you to make choices.
Yeah.
But I think we've legalized a choice that's wrong.
Right. I don't want women to make the choice to kill somebody, but it doesn't mean I don't want them to make choices in general. I mean,
exactly.
Like we
exactly
say,
what I'm saying.
I'm very, very pro-choice. I think women should be able to choose their own healthcare provider, their own college, their spouse, their religion, all these other things, their ice cream flavor, all these different things. Are things women should be able to choose. But some choices are wrong, like Kyle said.
Right.
Like let's say torturing toddlers for fun is always wrong. No one's pro-choice about that. Like I'm pro-choice for torturing toddlers. As long as they're in the privacy of their home. No one says that, you know?
Exactly.
So, but yeah, it's a complete non sequitur. And if she really wants to kill her kid, then I trust her to offer her kid for adoption to loving parents who won't want to kill them.
Or you don't trust her and you step in, if you don't trust a woman to take care of a child, you don't kill the child.
Right.
Exactly. And we're broadcasting from Fresno, California, one of the hottest places imaginable, short of possibly Death Valley.
Death Valley does beat us every year.
It gets to 110 degrees out here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If a woman, and it's happened, tragedy as it is, has left infants and toddlers and fathers and mothers have both done this, left them with the windows rolled up in their closed, locked, turned off car in the summer heat.
Right.
Some children have died from that. I'm sorry, you've shown me that you're not capable of caring for your child. That says nothing about me telling you. We still
can't
say
make choices.
It says
and there's
nothing about your
a
inability to make
law.
choices.
There's a law. There's a law that you can't leave your child unattended in a car, especially, and you can't leave them with the windows rolled up or down.
Right.
And
so that proves
we're
that the government already doesn't think that women can make choices.
Well, but that's the thing. We don't trust someone to make a choice that's wrong.
Right.
We tell them not to do it, and we set up a law.
I would say it succinctly in the sense that I trust women insofar as I trust men in the sense that if they do something that is damaging to another person and they don't show the ability to discern between the two, then they've lost my trust.
Right.
But that says nothing about the fact that we've legalized something that involves killing another human being.
Right. Okay, last question from New Lono. He says, here's an interesting challenge for you guys. In fact, before I even read this, let me just I'm going to catch people up. For those of you that are newer to the show, last year we had what I like to call an infamous debate between myself and my boss, John Keller, who came on the show. And we were debating a pro-life advertisement that was supposed to they had by a group called CatholicVote.org. You can go watch it on their website. They've got a couple of different pro-life ads they've put together. They had tried to get this going not on this last Super Bowl but the one before. So this last Super Bowl we had the Tim Tebow ad.
Right.
The year before they tried to get this ad aired. It's called Imagine the Potential, and it kind of talks about how there's all these different reasons that women might want to have an abortion, and then it turns out that they're talking about President Obama, whose mom could have aborted him, but she didn't, and now he's a president and a good speaker and whatever. And so we debated whether that was a good pro-life ad or not. I took the position that that's not a very good ad, and that is making the argument that we're supposed to That it's the same argument. Well, we've probably aborted Beethoven and Mozart, and so that's why abortion's wrong. It's like, no, abortion's wrong because it kills a human being.
Right.
Regardless of their...
Abortion has also probably killed Hitlers and other genocidal maniacs, so it works both ways. It's just a very you don't want to argue about the potentiality of the child. We got to argue that human beings are valuable
despite their potential.
Exactly. Right. I believe we're made in the image of God. God gave us value. Other people could argue that from equal rights, human rights, things like that.
And we don't. I mean, to be clear, I believe that some people dehumanize, and catch the phrase here, dehumanize themselves by acting inhumanely.
Right.
And you see, that's the critical thing. We say abortion is an inhumane act on an innocent human being.
Right.
What Hitler did was inhumane on innocent human beings.
Right.
Therefore, he has dehumanized. He has forfeited his right, call it, or he has forfeited his definition of being a human being. Yes, he's biologically so, but he's no longer behaving as such. Therefore, it's forfeit.
Right. And so John's, had a different take. He saw a really well-produced ad, and it had a very strong emotional, possible response from people. And so he was arguing that maybe it was a good ad or a powerful ad. And so we kind of had this debate back and forth. You can go listen to it if you go, look on the archives for CatholicVote.org ad or Super Bowl ad or whatever. And we had that debate. So anyway, New Lono is responding to that debate that we had, and he says this: here's an interesting challenge for you guys. Create a 30-second ad that is better and more intellectually sound than the Catholic Vote Super Bowl ad. I think Josh would find it easier to criticize the ad than it is to make one, kind of a thing.
Okay, all right.
All right, Josh.
I agree with New Lono in the principle that it is easier to criticize the work of another than it is to create.
It is.
Absolutely agree with that.
Yep, I agree.
I believe personally that 30 seconds is nowhere near enough time to discuss the issue of abortion and the murder of the unborn and the issue of protecting the life of the innocent.
Doesn't mean you can't.
In a TV ad.
In a TV ad. I don't think you can hit
You can't
all
hit
the
everything.
points.
That doesn't mean that you can't create a better ad.
You could possibly create a more catchy, more intriguing.
You
can
could create a
improve
more
upon it.
logically sound.
Or more logically
in
sound.
30 seconds. You could do that.
But I don't
it's
think
possible, but it would be very difficult. I mean,
Now,
the caveat I'm throwing out there is because you had made a more generalized comment. I think the 30-second pro-lifer that we teach, or the 10-second pro-lifer we teach people, we know the unborn are alive because it's growing.
All right, I agree.
And you could still make that a very emotional.
Let me teach it to
appealing
people for those who haven't heard it yet. We know the unborn are alive because it's growing.
Right.
We know the unborn are human because it has human parents, and human beings like you and me are valuable. That can be done in much less than 30 seconds. The question that wouldn't make a very good ad. And so the question is, and I think it's legitimate to ask, could you really make a great 30-second ad on abortion? You're saying we could. I'm saying it's possible.
You probably could. I'm saying you could.
But I don't have to come up with it.
Well, you don't. It's a dare. It's a challenge.
It is a dare, but I'm not a marketing guy. There's other people that could do it a lot better than I could.
It's a bit of a logical fallacy to say if you can't make one, you can't critique one.
Right.
That we're not getting at. But I think you could put together something that's quite good and still has the emotional appeal.
I thought the Tim Tebow ad was great. I
hated the Tim Tebow ad.
I was fine. See, that was we just had we had to disagree. I didn't think
it was
cheesy.
Not worth all the fuss that everybody made over it.
Okay, for people, you need to go listen to our talks about the Tim Tebow ad because I've got very different thoughts on that from you.
I
but
know.
It is what it is. But yeah, I'll say it's very difficult to put together an ad.
It is.
But our job here is to comment and to analyze and to take a look and I said I might be wrong. Maybe John was right. I definitely agree with some of the things that John said. We didn't end up completely agreeing, which is fine. It was actually kind of fun because people got to see us disagree.
Debates.
And sometimes we kind of agree all the time anyway, so it makes it less fun. So it's kind of fun when we can have disagreement like, Liz, you hated the Tim Tebow ad.
Sorry.
Sadly, we only have 15 seconds left in the show. I can't really go and refute you on that.
Right, I win.
You don't win because I'm in charge of the show and I say you're wrong. All right, whatever. So thanks for watching. Check back in with us next week.
You've been watching Life Report, pro-life talk, real-world answers. Life Report is produced by Right to Life of Central California. Visit their website at fresnoprolife.org.